Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. Good evening from good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Sorry for that echo, please. So it's so good to be here. Thank you for joining us on today's live stream. We are going to start shortly, but we are waiting for a number of others to join this event. So you just give us some 5 more minutes while we wait for others to join us. But it's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining. For as many of you that you have joined already, thank you. We're just going to wait for others. We're going to give it like 3 to 5 minutes. So thank you. Yeah, I can see some more people joining. So please, if you are here, let me see your reaction in the comment section. Let me see your reaction. Let us. You can tell us, introduce yourself, and let us know where you are joining us from. Let's start from there. Please introduce yourself in the comment section and let us know where you are joining us from. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to have you join our event. I would believe that you're going to learn a lot in this session. Okay, I can see David Ojo. I can see Omolade. I can see Fayo Kemi. Please let us know where you're joining from. Are you joining from Nigeria? What part of the world are you joining us from? Our speaker is here. Our speaker is here already, but I would I would love this number to increase the number of people live and the comment section. I want to see many more reactions. I want to see many more people before we are going to bring our special guest. I'm going to bring up my special guest, but he's here. He's here already, and trust me, he's so loaded. Well, it's such a privilege to have him join us today. Okay, Omolade is from Ogun State, Nigeria. Fayokemi, yes, from Nigeria. You're welcome. So we are going to give 3 more minutes. So we'll start by 5:10. Exactly, we'll start by 5:10. Ordinarily, we do like to keep to our time, but because we know that our guest speaker is so loaded and he has so much to give to us today, just for that sake alone, we are trying to accommodate many more people to join. We're taking this, but ordinarily would have started by 5 on dots because we don't do African time here. So for those of us who have joined already, cheers to you. I see you. Maybe I'll speak to the management. Who knows? They might give you something for being one of the uh, for being a first timer and for coming early. Uh, I think there should be something for those who came early, you know. But you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us, Mr. David. You're from Abia State. Oh, wow. It's good to have you join us. I can see Obolade is happy. So we have just less than 3 minutes, less than 2 minutes to be precise, to bring up my distinguished guest for today. So let me first start by introducing myself. My name is Oladayo Olagunju. I know they cropped out my surname for whatever reason. I guess they do not like it. But my name is not fully written. So I'm Oladayo Olagunju. So in case you're wondering what is the other O, I'm from Nigeria also. I'm a data analyst as well. But like they will say, uh, permit me to say this that inside inside that avian something another avian the inside. So inside my data analyst, there are other, there's another analyst the inside, and that is who Mr. Caleb is. Is an expert in the field. I'm already so hyped. I want to bring him up already, but these numbers are not necessarily encouraging for now, but we trust that others are going to join. So thank you, Oluwatofunwa. I can see you. It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you from Lagos. How's Lagos this evening? Oluwatofunwa. How is Abia, Mr. David? All right, so without wasting and taking much of our time, I will introduce our guest speaker for today. Our guest speaker is Mr. Caleb Owokpetu. He's a well-known business intelligence leader and exceptional data storyteller who turns raw data into clear, captivating visual storytelling that inspire action. With extensive experience in Power BI, analytics engineering, and advanced visualization design, he assists enterprises in better understanding their company by turning facts into stories and stories into strategy. Mr. Caleb has designed corporate dashboards for leaders in the financial and digital lending industries, affecting important choices and disclosing previously unseen facts. His visual storytelling, storytelling technique has increased transparency by more than 40%, streamlined operational processes, and enabled teams to make faster, better, and more confident choices. Mr. Caleb is more than just an analyst. He's a communicator. He combines technical expertise with human-centered designs, ensuring that each graphic, measure, and insight is relevant to the real-world difficulties that executives face. He empowers teams to comprehend their facts and, and tell their own compelling stories through coaching and cooperation. Driven by curiosity and impact, his mission is simple. And I want you to pay attention to this. So, this is our guest speaker's mission. His mission is to turn data into meaning, meaning into decisions, and decisions into transformation. If you got that, let me know that. Let me know in the comment section, and I have a gift for you, real quick. So permit me to bring uh, with a thunderous clap and an ovation. In the reaction, the comment section, I want you to welcome Mr. Caleb Owokpetu. Mr. Caleb, you're welcome. It's so good to have you join us.
Good day. Thank you so much. I cannot believe what I just heard now. Thank you so much, Dio. It's been a privilege to join you.
Yeah, it's really good to have you here. Thank you so much for making up your time to uh, to be here with us, because we believe that this is just going to be a great session and just so much. We can't wait to to have you coach us through this session, Mr. Caleb. All right, so um, I want to first begin by asking Mr. Caleb,
Yes, I
did
can hear you.
you? All right, can you hear me? Thank you. How did you get into the tech field? How did you get into this career path? Did you study something related while on campus or something? Can you please let us know that?
Okay, thank you so much. If you were to ask, if I was to say what I studied in relative to what I'm doing now, I would say actually it's not so related. But I was opportune to just stumble. How I started the data work was I was invested in someone's project while I was on campus. I studied accounting in school, and there was this computer science student that was trying to build a database for all the school students, and I was trying to build a web application, and he didn't know what courses we offered. So he gave us some SQL scripts and asked us to uh, on this. He just explained SQL basically to us and told us how to create the tables and columns for our department and each level. And that was how my curiosity just started. And I knew right away that I was already studying the wrong course. I was in like 200 level second semester. And I was so confused because I love what I was doing, but I didn't know what to do. But along the way, I started looking for how to be able to enter into tech. I thought it was going to be web design. Nobody really told me what it was. I didn't know much about computer science at that time, so I had to step out of school to go and figure it out. While I was figuring it out, I was building capacity, learned a little bit about web application design, learned a little bit about digital marketing, and I felt that this was not it. But passively, I was actually developing the skills for data analytics in the long run because
Okay.
while in university, I was already handling research-based projects for people who are about to graduate. So their regression analysis, their ANOVA test, the T test, the T test for their
So
questionnaires and what. I was just doing that as a side hustle. The
oh,
technical part of research based work. And that was how I discovered that, oh, I already have programming knowledge. I understood a little bit of statistics. Then I started working my way into data science. And it's officially started around 2020 during the COVID. I started pushing in more for data science work. I studied data science as what I wanted to go into. And then I launched into analytics and became very, very interesting for me since then.
oh wow, Mr. Caleb, that is such an interesting journey. Wow, like I can want to imagine from being an accountant or from wanting to be an accountant into, but a little bit, it still looks a little bit related. If you, look at it, you are still dealing with numbers and the likes. And I guess probably that maybe helped you to also quickly integrate into this field. But this is such a very interesting story. If you have been paying attention, it means that you shouldn't get stuck in probably what life opens opportunity for you, and like what Mr. Caleb is has told us already, he jumped into that, and whilst probably not even knowing it at the should we say the best level, as a 200 level, he keyed into that, and now he has built a career out of that. That's such an inspiring story, because sometimes some people already feel that, well, you need to probably have a basic understanding, you need to have like that background knowledge on campus and all of that before you can probably go into something like this. And that is the reason why sometimes some people shy away from that. But it's so good to have you share this experience with us. Thank you so much for that. I mean, like, I said earlier before bringing up this killer, that inside my own data analyst is inside another data analyst there inside. You can see, from already, he has already mentioned many things: regression, T test. I remember that a little because, of course, I studied economics. So, these are really key issues that Mr. Caleb is just saying like that. But don't feel intimidated. Okay, he's an advert, so don't worry, he will come down to our level. Don't worry, he will still come down to our level. All right, so um, I'll ask you the next question. So on to the next question now, please. If you are following, I want you to Please let me see that energy in the comment section, please. If you are following us, I want to be seeing your energy. I asked the question the other time. I can't really say anyone got it. So the only person that was close is Omolade, from what I can see. She said his mission is to turn meaning into information. Well, that is not what is here. So, all right. So I'll just go to the next question without wasting our time. So, what can you say, Mr. Caleb, to be the major difference, between a traditional data analyst, like because I believe there's a picture people are when you say I'm a data analyst. So what can you say is that thing that separates a data analyst from a BI expert? Because we are saying that from this event, you said data visualization rather for business intelligence or BI. So what can you say really separates a data analyst, a traditional data analyst, from a BI expert?
Okay,
And
thank you so
can
much.
any of this, and sorry, can either of this stand alone? Can we have a data analyst separate from a BI analyst, or in quotes?
Okay,
Like,
yeah. So I will start with the BI so that we have a general understanding, and I will show you the subsets where data analysts actually sit within the business intelligence. So business intelligence is actually converting all your data sets into informations that move from one layer to another layer. When we are saying from one layer, we are looking at it from the application source down into your warehouse, down into your visualization part, and down into your presentation, which you give to the business, you serve the business. So now, business intelligence is like an ecosystem that comprises of both your analytics, your data analysts, your data visualization experts, and also a level of data analytics engineering, which you would naturally not have in some organization, and you have, it's an emerging field right now, and I think it has already started scaling so fast. And also you have your data engineering team, right? But in the ecosystem, the data engineering team are more of a standalone function. But business intelligence, what the person does is that he works directly with the it's more now like the analytical engineering part that works more with the engineering team and with the visualization team. So business intelligence is a buzzword that comprises everything that has to do with data management, right? So now, in terms of you now picking information, and I'm going into the data analytics part now, picking information out of, say, where they have stored those information and turning it into insight to answer questions. That's where your data analyst is coming into play. So you can find a data analyst within the finance team, somebody who is picking information from the database and trying to translate those information into business cases and questions and trying to answer those questions. And you can also have a data analyst within the marketing team. You can have them within the sales team. You can have them within other functional teams within an organization. So what I'm just trying to say is that the business intelligence expert has the general domain knowledge of the 360 life cycle of data management to visualization. While a data analyst doesn't necessarily have the 360 life cycle, has a subset knowledge that allows him to be able to be more functional in terms of the analytical approach in answering questions. So that's just the difference between a traditional business intelligence expert and an analyst.
all right, that's a very brilliant answer. But I would like to quickly say or ask you or put it to you that, so, like, what do you think is, or who do you think is considered to be, for any organization now? So between a data analyst and a BI expert, because I am thinking that a data analyst should be able to do the work of a BI. Like, I am thinking, I may be wrong. I'm just trying to ask, like, okay. So now, for someone who is like trying to, for someone has been hearing about data analytics, data, because usually almost everybody, any like edutech school, will not necessarily say, I want to train you for BI. Most would say you are doing data analytics and, well, probably data science. So, are you like saying that because now my own understanding before is as though a BI is kind of a subset in data analytics, but it's like you're making it look like now you're kind of making it look like the BI is even more. So I want you to like kind of like clarify that again.
Okay, thank you so much. So what we're looking at right now is that business intelligence, right? What will I use now? You know when you say the word for you're a medical practitioner, right? A general sense, and you are bringing in someone who is studying dentistry into it. It's a medical practitioner, but he just handling the teeth part. So that's what business intelligence is all about. Business intelligence is ability for you to be able to make system communicate with each other, to be able to answer questions, right? A data analyst is the person that use that system that communicate with each other to answer those questions. So it's a subset. And you can do a research. I think CFI had already done that a lot. They've talked about the whole ecosystem of business intelligence in their BI data analytics certification and what's not. But that's not what we are here for. That's way outside. It's an expensive course or program like that. But what I'm just trying to bring here is that in business intelligence, right, you are looking at the 360 view. Data analytics is coming in to say that you don't need to, you know, go in deep down. You can't just start into the deep dive of the ocean. You should scratch the surface layer. And most people start. That's why you see that people who have no experience in data analytics, they first of all start with what? The data, they bring them into the world of data analysts. And people who have years of experience and into maybe if you look deep into the industry, you discover that they translate away from just data visualization and answering business questions into building systems that can be able to answer those questions. It's not the engineering part. You are not building a data warehouse or anybody. You are not trying to go to the application data source, but you are building systems within the data analytics space that should be able to answer questions. For example, you have a warehouse that has been built and you need a new source to be able to bring that information in. You cannot necessarily be running back to your data engineer to say, go and get the source and bring it back in, right? You as a BI expert now, we understand, okay, we have our warehouse. We have this new information coming from here. We need to be able to merge it into the warehouse to make it, to enrich it further for the questions to be answered. So you are bringing intelligence into your warehouse now, telling it that, oh, you are good, you are fine, you are answering certain questions. I need this other information to come to merge to this, to be able to go further in answering those questions. But you don't expose that kind of case problem to someone who is just starting his
Yeah,
career
yeah,
on the get-go.
exactly, exactly. Oh wow, thanks for that clarification. Thanks for that clarification. Please, if you are feeling Mr. Caleb, I want you to hit that reaction button right now, right now. I want the any, but I can already see it, and this is so brilliant. Mr. Fire Kevin said a data analyst is more functional in answering questions and helping to make better decisions. And Oyeni Oluwatofunwa, she said ability to make system communicate to each other. That's for business intelligence. And David Ojo said a data analyst doesn't need to be involved in all the life cycle of data, And yes, Fire Kemi said in the comments that building systems to answer questions with data analytics, and that's for a BI expert. So it shows that these people are really learning from what you're saying. Thank you so much for this priceless information you are giving out to us today. All right, I will quickly jump to the next question so that we'll not dwell on this for too long. But I am really getting and learning a lot myself. So thank you for that. So as a BI expert, this is the
Yes.
next question I want to ask you. I for one know tools like Power BI, and I think Power BI is one of the most common tool used, by many people and many organizations. So people are like I said, used to Power BI, Tableau, I believe, and some people must have also started their visualization with Excel. Do you also have other tools that you are? I mean, what other tools do you think that like people are moving, organizations are moving into more that is different from this one I mentioned? And if you are going to advise a newbie, what tools would you rather be suggesting to a newbie to master Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much. So yeah, I think your questions are two-headed already. So I will start with other tools that are out there. Let me just. So we have Ultrix, we have Quick View, we have, and that's outside Power BI. We have Looker, we have QuickSight from AWS,
Sorry, a second.
and
I want you to patiently, sorry, I want to patiently list some of these things because I want our audience to be able to catch that. All right, so you can start again. Sorry for cutting you short.
okay. So we have Q View, um, we have Quick View, we have Looker, which is from Google. We have QuickSight, which is from Amazon, that's AWS, cloud-based solution for data visualization. We have so many others. We have Ultrix. You can have your visualization in Ultrix. We have Metabase, and that's a different and an entire ecosystem of its own for majorly marketing visualization. So it depends on where you find yourself, right? And also, what I will always advise to anyone who is going into data analytics for the first time is that what market are you currently in? And how can you be valuable to that market where you are in? For someone who is outside the country, I might give a different product that he should start with. But for someone that is within West African region, within Europe, I will almost or always suggest that you should go with Power BI. The reason why is that Microsoft has taken over the European and the African markets already. And you see organization, the ecosystem, right? Your
Saturated.
ecosystem is built. You don't want to stand up and start building something and
Over
you are
again.
one in a many and you are like 100 that are looking for a few job, right? You want to be able to use that to be able to leverage and get into rooms, then from there build your competency and expertise in other areas that allows you to stand out as a niche, right? As an expert or an authority in whatsoever field. So I will always say go with the most popular, and because while you start with that, it gives you room to understand your ecosystem. It gives you room to be able to collaborate, most especially when you are stuck, right? You don't want to spend months trying to research problems that you naturally, if you are just reach out to someone on LinkedIn or reach out to somebody within our team here, they would naturally just solve the problem for you. So you are just looking at it from the aspect that you want to go wide enough and deep enough so that you can be able to have leverage of the entire market. And also, the second best tool I will just recognize also is actually Tableau, or there are two on the list now, or Looker. Looker is becoming much more popular within the American region, the North American region, because Google has started, Alphabet has started making a lot of investment into artificial intelligence, but we are going out of that artificial intelligence and also their reporting systems. So a lot of features have been rolled out over the years, and Looker Studio now has evolved and become much more efficient in handling almost real-time data analytics and visualization. So that would be another best option for you. Our Tableau, the most popular, most organizations within our region wouldn't want to pay for licenses all the time, so they will be stuck with license issue.
Oh wow, wow. So, Mr. Caleb, Mr. Caleb, if I got that correctly, you're saying that what really matters is actually the market space that you are going to. That's the first thing you should consider, right? you
Yes.
know and then in choosing the tools, you would advise that a newbie should actually start with what is most popular. And according to you, Power BI, I actually agree with that sentiment. I think Power BI is like the most popular, generally. And the other sentiment, you said that in the US, because I think I had what's it called, a little bit of should I say, opportunity to work with someone of recent. And Looker Studio is, I think, is kind of popular with the US market, or is getting popular with the US market. But I would like really, but sorry to say, but I find Looker Studio really, really uh, how will I say? I don't want to say buggy, but sometimes Lucas Studio can be really annoying. Let me just put it that way. It can really be annoying. Just some issues here and there. So, but no, just my own personal. issue. I have my own personal beef with Lucas Studio, but Tableau, wow, great choice. I've used Tableau before. I've used Power BI. I still use Power BI, and yeah. So okay, so you have it. Mr. Caleb has told us already. So the next question I will quickly ask. I'm going to put. I want to lump two questions together, right? So in designing, dashboards,
Okay.
sometimes, some people, I guess, because maybe some are probably more, creative. Normally, someone like me, I won't really say that's my strength. So some have this creativity normally, yeah, and I think it helps when people are building dashboards. Sometimes you see some dashboard, you want to cry because of how some people just make some colors together and the likes. So now, creativity might get the best of a newbie. So how do you decide? That's the first question I want to. How do you decide the right chat type? You know, the right chat type. For a specific business question. And what is the mistake, the most common mistake that you probably have found out that people make the most, like when building dashboard, and that you think it can actually be avoided, but people tend to make that mistake the most. So the first question, like I said, is how what do you think is the best chat type? Someone that's struggling with creativity and the likes. Like, what do you think is like should be like the go-to chat that can answer, the how would I put it, the chat type that answers the most of any business question that people want to ask. I know there are different big business questions that you can't use the same chat for, but what is that go-to chat that you probably might want to recommend? And again, what is that common mistake that you think newbies make, and you want to help them with that? Over to you, sir.
Okay, I will start with the letter. Then I'll
Oh,
go to
all
the.
right. It's fine.
So
It's
one of
fine.
the major mistakes I will always see that newbies try to do is they want to implement all the charts that are on the panel for visualization on a particular dashboard. They want to have their funnel charts. They want to have their line charts. They want to have a box plot. They want to have a tree map. They want to
Just
have.
just say just say you're talking to me now. Just say you want to.
So I'm not talking to you. You asked for newbies. I was in that bucket too. So I did it. I'm guilty as charged. As I'm saying it, I see myself there too when I started. But over the time, I come to realize that the lesser the visualization time, the more easy for the business to understand. So I, I will just leave it at that. Then the second question will now be, what are my go-to visualization? I will say that it depends on what problem you are trying to answer. But if you are trying to get a metric-based solution, right, I will always suggest that first and foremost you start with your cards, right? Your cards should be your number one, because what does that do? It helps you to help you to build KPI, and also you have the ability to look backwards in comparison in a subtle way to show what that metrics that you are looking at on the very high level or much even more detailed level, to be able to give the business a perspective to where it is leading to, right? For example, I'm trying to say we want to hit a 5 million budget before December. What should we do? Now you have to set a KPI question that we answer, that what should be our run rate, right? And when our run rate, we fall short of our run rate, how many percent are we now far away from our run rate?
Yeah.
So your KPI cards give you the ability to say, this is our run rate, this is how far we are falling by so and so number of percent, this was our last week run rate. So you can see that it already tells the business that, hey,
Yeah.
hold up, you are not doing so great. Or, oh, you are doing so great, it's a jollof week for everybody, right? So you don't want
Jollof. Is it Nigerian jollof or Ghana jollof?
I've tasted both Ghanaian jollof and Nigerian jollof, and I just do to. I don't want to create a Ghana one anymore. So let's leave that.
Let's get back to the question. Let's leave Ghana for now.
All right, let's come back home. So you are looking
Yeah.
at it from that aspect, right? The high level and the very high level and detailed enough, and then you are looking at what is it like So I will always say, in terms of volume, if you're looking at volume over period, you can use your column chart, most especially if it is not long. If you are looking at volume over maybe something that's a category, maybe product type or whatnot, a column chart, a cluster chart can work for you, right? And then if you are now looking at, for example, periods, you want to see it as a period and you are doing a period on period comparison, I will always suggest that you should go for a line chart. So you can either juxtapose a column chart for a line chart, most especially when you are looking at periods. But this is something that many people don't understand. Table in visualization is almost like a king, because with table, you can do a lot. You can tell the story, you can tell them, these are the total number of guys that are actually bringing our numbers. These are the percentage they are bringing the numbers at. This is the department that are least performing. And the way you cluster your table or break your table apart to tell that story can really make the business start seeing their information from a different perspective. And one thing that I want you to understand is the way you tell your data visualization story or the way you visualize it can even probe much more. More questions can come up. And when you are doing that, you are seeing that your data is bringing more questions, bringing more people to the conversation that were never naturally interested. Know that you are hitting the right spot.
Wow. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. I for one, I think I do tend to incorporate tables into my chat. But the way you just said it now, I was just like visualizing something on my mind, like, oh wow, probably I should have used table for this particular chart that's, like it just kind of occurred to me that truly I think I've been underusing tables. And really, really thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for mentioning that. So wow, sometimes it turns out that some of the things we don't pay attention to are actually, what's probably, serve us the best. Oh wow. Please, I'm seeing the reaction. I'm really impressed. I really wish that this is a session that I believe, thousands and millions of people should actually be listening to. Like, really, really. Well, we hope that, others will watch it eventually, because Mr. Caleb is reeling out wisdom. Reeling out wisdom. Thank you so much. Like, thank you so much. All right, so we continue. Yeah, my next question is, how do I put this? Okay, so storytelling. We believe storytelling is, with data is a hot topic. Uh, I don't know. Do you have an example of, how you uh, used a dashboard, where by virtue of the storytelling that you did, it actually changed a business decision, like because of how you were able to storytell, in quotes, how you were able to tell the story with your dashboard. Is there a particular scenario that really, kind of
Change it.
strikes you? Yes, and so that it changed rather the business decision, and for the better actually, not.
Okay, thank you so much. So one of the major, I will just use a case study. I won't mention the organization to protect the same, but I will say that
Yeah,
one of the
sure.
major we have been able to successfully use storytelling in helping business, pivot from a particular level of decision or a particular decision into another decision was a project that I was on, and we discovered that in terms of the journey for our customers, we are finding it very, very difficult in converting certain number of customers. And we decided to look at the kind of customers we were onboarding from certain number of region over time. And then we started building, I used that visualization to be able to start giving them a scope. And in the journey, we discovered that most of the customers, to a large extent, we're not making it into the full customer onboarded case that we wanted them to be. And we started asking ourselves that these numbers are spiking. So I was able to now probe further, created a chart to see how they are spiking. And so you see a customer that maybe started this process 2 months after the line, then he just moved in, maybe like 500 were stuck at the same point. So the visualization started telling us that these people that are coming now are not necessarily new guys that are coming. They are actually people who were stuck. So it now involved being innovating a monitoring dashboard that track the whole customer onboarding process. So in that monitoring dashboard, we discovered that the turnaround time for maybe document review was a bit lagging. So what that dashboard helped us to do was to just bring transparency into that part. And we discovered that when we brought that visual, so the storytelling gave us a problem that we are not onboarding our customers on time, right? We are
Yeah.
not closing out their documentation on time.
Fine,
So
yes.
when we looked at it and we are discovering that they are not closing out on time, we now have to build a solution
For that.
in form of a dashboard that is very transparent to all the business to say, you are coming in, we are giving you this document. How soon can you treat your document? So it gets to you today.
Yeah.
Would you naturally take your 3 days that you used to do before?
Okay. So it kind of reduced the time or something.
Yes,
The
it
length
it reduced our turnaround time.
time, yes, and increased your efficiency. Or how will I put it now? In
Yes.
Bringing people. But wow, that's really great, and thank you for that scenario. I do hope we are really learning something. You can see, so it's not just about creating, because this is actually what's going to bring me to the next question, anyways. Because sometimes it's really about building solution with the dashboard or with, because sometimes people are so concerned about the aesthetic. If your aesthetic is not solving real issues, I don't think really. Of course, it's part of, like I said, which is what is going to bring me to this question. So, what would you like for you? I want it like for you now. Aesthetic or speed? What what will what will you pick? And I know that some some companies, or some bosses. Let me put boss. Some like aesthetics. But I feel that sometimes when you're trying to make your dashboard look really nice, it takes a lot of time. And some will put pressure again on you. Like, you have to deliver this by so time. So how do you, is there a way you balance the two? Or do you have like your own rule, like, damn aesthetic, let me just produce a solution and give you what is going to give you a solution. I don't care about whatever this thing that you are looking for. And before you answer, I also want to ask, because part of the aesthetic, that do you think dark mode, adds to that, the aesthetic of designs, or it does not? Well, what's your take on that? So I'm like
Okay.
lumping like three questions together.
And I will give you a whole so I
No
said
problem.
I did
Yeah.
digital marketing, and I had to venture into graphics design at some point. So I'm a bit biased.
Okay. Okay. I
So I
like. I
had to
like.
venture into graphics. So I'm a bit biased.
Okay.
But what I will always say is that when it comes to stakeholder management, at the end of the day, two things really matters, right? Your ability for them to trust you in delivery, right?
Okay.
If somebody really, you need to know the person you are working with. I can be working with a team and they really like that dashboard looking dashling, the razzmatazz of all the information. I want to click this. I want to see automated something going on here and there. But if you understand what it is, it will help you prepare better. Because what I've successfully been able to do is I'll be able to build up some templates, and I won't lie. I go online, look at someone's template. I like it.
Yeah.
I like what he implemented here. I steal that idea. I put it there in my own in my own ammunitions, because I don't want to be going back to one and rebuild that while I'm building a dashboard. I just need to be able to build a minimum viable product. I see it from that aspect. So your dashboard should come out as a minimum viable product for speed, right? And tell them that improvements can happen afterwards. So if you, let's say Dio likes aesthetic, but he wants his dashboard this week, right? I will tell him that, see, don't expect so much on view. Let us work with numbers. You see your numbers, you like it. Maybe in the next month, I'll be able to do version 2.0 for you. and then we have a template. So,
Okay.
and with that, my cache of ammunition of aesthetical designs that I
That
want,
you have kept somewhere.
that I've kept somewhere, I can be able to just shift it, land it on it, and
your many powers. You'll be unleashing your different many powers.
like a video shaker.
Like a video shaker template. I guess. That's really great.
So,
Okay.
and it's a secret that allows you to stand out in the field, because people are just trying to think on the spot what you should have done maybe 6 months or a year ago, and you should just be updating over time. So when you are building your dashboard, most especially for newbies, if you see something you like that's simple, minimalistic, nice, and you like it, build it. It's part of your experience. You like this column chart, you like the way it looks, build that. Keep it. So when you are implementing it, you already understand that you have it somewhere. You can just lift it, that template, and bring it into it. And also, in terms of speed again, there are also advanced tools that can help you gain time. For example, Power BI allows you to be able to write JSON formats that automatically updates all your chart colors. So you are not thinking which chart color works with this organization. You should know the primary color and their secondary color, and also complementary colors that works with it. So once you have that image, and let me just show it out there. If you are not the color type, go to colors.com or .io. Colors, that's CO colors.io. It gives you colors. Once you have picked other colors, you can be able to shuffle colors that complement with the other colors. And once you try it out,
sorry, please. Is it the colors, the American spelling or the British spelling? Is it the one with the U?
it's
Or the one
cool,
with that?
like cool. COO.
Oh, okay. COOL. Okay.
Yeah. .io. So you can just search on the web. I have the web link stashed somewhere on my laptop, so I don't even think about going to look for the link anymore. So once you see that, it gives you opportunity to be able to know how to work with the color better, and it will also give you mock-up dashboard to be able to view. So it helps you solve your problem in the long run. So
Please let me see you give Mr. Caleb a round of applause with your reaction, please. I personally do not even know about colors, cool.io. And wow, thank God I came to this event. Thank God I'm here. And I do believe that someone else is learning this for the first time. Please let me know if you're just hearing about that for the first time. Let me know if you're hearing that for the first time. Wow. It's so great to have you, Mr. Caleb. It's just time is really running. I don't know why this time is running on us. I do not understand. This time needs to calm down because I have so many questions for you. But well, I think we're moving. We're moving. I think we're moving. The next question. My next question would be, okay, so, like some other, how do I ask this question now? Okay, I know for graphic designers, they don't spend all their time rather on system or laptops any longer. They have some applications that allow them to do that, like on the mobile device. But if there's something else I also know about, designs, especially on Power BI, sometimes it does break when if you actually have built on the desktop and you're trying to view or maybe move to mobile. So how do you design for? Is there a way you actually design for both desktop and mobile, such that regardless whether it is for how will I put it now? For like even for website design, also there's a way they design for for the desktop and then different from the mobile or something. So is there a way that you do that from the onset, or is it that maybe later these are part of the other things that you now like adjust after already doing the dashboard, or is this something that you can already do from the get-go? Do we have such feature on Power BI, or which particular application allows you to do that?
Oh, okay.
So I'm more concerned about the mobile, like aspect of it.
Okay,
Like,
so for the mobile aspect,
accessible on the mobile,
yeah, for the mobile aspect, right? I will say that at the end of the day, it has to be. You have to know what really works, right? And Bookmark, we can really help you in, for your mobile view, hiding certain things and features so that it become much more responsive. And once you be able to do that, you can also, restructure the graphics view. So let's say I'm building first for desktop, and I know at the back of our mind that we're going to have a mobile device there. So I want to do a bookmark that is telling me that once it's a mobile view, right, there is this feature I want to have. I don't want to see these designs. And you can do that from your dashboard point of view on Power BI service, on your mobile point of view. So drag and drop on the mobile point of view. So you have your mobile view on your desktop, and you can also translate it down to your Power BI service design for mobile and hide certain features that you don't need. And once you've done that, that will be the feature you want to push out. And why you want to do that? Because in terms of your table views, it can be very, very messed up. You don't want to have disjointed tables. You just want to be able to give certain information that on the get-go, they just want to know, like your KPI cards, a little bit of line chart here, a bar chart there, can really help. So if they really want to now probe further, then you can now say, oh, let's move to either Power BI desktop or my laptop to be able to see this much more information, to be able to get what I need. So in doing this, it gives you the opportunity to be able to save time for mobile design, and also the flexibility for you to be able to know what chart is really important to you to be able to visualize.
Oh. All right. Thank you so much for that answer. Thank you so much for that answer. So, Mr. Caleb has been able to tell us that there are some what's it called? I don't want to call it manipulation, but some things you can do, to help your designs from not breaking. Said you should hide some features, that would help your designs not to look messed up and all of that. And you can actually, do the mobile version from Power BI, if I got that correctly.
Yes.
All right, and I think that would probably even go. I mean, I'll like knowing what your probably the. I just want to add that, so like you can second it if I'm right. Like knowing what your should I say your boss or your company needs. I think it kind of help you. Yeah, exactly. Like okay, know which exactly you are actually building. Does that make any sense?
It does. It does. It makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, it's stakeholder that has
the final end. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so. To the next question. So, I'm here. I'm looking at this. Oh, I mean, the AI has been both a blessing and I won't want to say a curse yet. Is like the recent trend emergence of AI, and someone who is trying to learn or get into data analytics or sorry business intelligence, it's now learning to to realize the fact that we now have automated dashboards, like we now have this AI automated insights and all of that becoming so common on Power BI, on Tableau and the likes. So do you think they will come to a point where we probably will not need the human designed visualization, as such that probably that renders the skill, like someone that is trying to go into this, let's say I'm looking at, okay, I want to build a career in BI. Is there a reason for the person to feel probably threatened or discouraged? What do you think? So do you think humans?
So I'm not an optimistic, neither am I pessimistic, but I will say that at the end of the day, right, it will be that for you to function in an organization, you need to have a fundamental understanding of analytics. That's where I see for saying. So mine is not that it's taking the job away. My own perspective is that it's now niching individuals into units and making them have an analytical experience. Because if you don't understand analytics, let's give a number. Imagine a salesperson that doesn't understand, a head of sales or a CEO that doesn't understand data analytics, is just chunking in results and it's not going able to fact check what is going on, right? He will make a costly mistake. But I'm saying organization, my own perspective now is that organization will be tilting, and I'm seeing some couple of organizations in the industry are already moving that way. So what they will do is that they want everybody to understand analytics. So almost everybody in a unit or a particular person in one unit must understand the numbers that empowers that unit, such that analysts will then become sales analysts with the hood of artificial intelligence in them, such that when they ask those questions within the sales team, they are doing their regular job sales, but they'll be the one heavily on the numbers for that unit. To answer those questions, they will use artificial intelligence to make it much faster, much easier. And if they cannot be able to validate what has happened, they can go back to the database and fact check what has happened so that they don't make any mistake. Because you can make a very gross mistake and say that we are doing fine when you are doing wrong. AI hallucinates a lot. And once that has happened, you are looking at wrong numbers, the business is making decision, and you are staring it where it's supposed to be going to the east, it's going to the west. And for them to come back, they would have lost a lot of ground. And sometimes they can even get sanctioned because there are some information that you want to have, and AI is isolated. It doesn't know PII in Nigeria, doesn't know the general data law protecting Nigerians, and it's not factored into the solutions that is built by the Western world. You, as that specialist, should be protecting your organization from that angle. And if you don't have that knowledge, it's a big blow. So most organizations now are working towards that aspect. But I'm seeing that analytics role will be reducing, but it will now be mission, right? It's not going to be so big anymore, but it will reduce, and it will now be a niche-based solution. So if you don't understand maybe investment opportunities, you can't really work as the analyst for that team.
Right? Yes.
And if you don't understand marketing, you can't really work in that space too as well.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying now. All right. So, of course, that means you're saying that AI is not necessarily like, it's not threatening your work per se. It can help you, do your work better, but you would have to, it should still require that you have a fundamental understanding of, or like a foundational, rather, that's what I want to say, foundational understanding of the particular field that you are working, so that we now have, different niche for, the, I don't know how best to put it now, but so like if I want to do something, if I'm working, but let's say I'm considering working in a sales company or something, I should have an analytical understanding of what sales entails and how AI can help me in that particular field, right? Is that
exactly? And also understand the numbers,
the
manipulation,
numbers?
because sometimes you might not have access to. You want to get an information, and the AI don't have that information. It's standing alone. What then do you do?
Okay.
So you have to be that same technical person that will help AI to understand where that.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's the word. All right, so thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's I do hope that, okay, I can see many people are yes, thank you for that. Okay, don't worry. Please, we're going to ask the audience. We're going to give you time to ask your questions. But I'm really glad with the interactions I'm seeing so far in the comment section. It shows that you guys are really following. Thank you for that. All right, some, like, many people are grateful for the tool you mentioned or the website you mentioned the other time. Like, many are saying that they are just hearing about it for the first time.
Oh yeah.
So to the next question, Mr. Caleb. Sorry, my question. Sorry, I'm asking you questions like Frank, is it Frank Ido now? It's just that my questions are not making him, so, but just bear with me. Bear with me today. All right. So to the next question, Mr. Caleb. Now we have those different stakeholders, just because we have different people and their different styles and their different likes and preferences. So how do you educate a stakeholder who probably just has a preference for some funny designs or charts, like 3D charts, pie charts? It just want you to have different color palettes and the likes. Is there a way you like? Is there a way you get to bring such a stakeholder, to understand that, well, what you are saying, maybe in theory, probably it can look good, like as you're imagining it, but in reality, this is not the best. And without you sounding people can get, sometimes people get funny when you do things like so. Is there a way how do you do that? Like, is there a way you balance that? Is there a way, like, conflict of interest? I'll put it like that, in design.
So let me just say it this way, right? You have a client that's asking you to build a car park on the third floor of his apartment, right? And you're advising him that why not just build it underground, right? Best. You are technical, so you know how to build it. But you're saying that third floor, things you can be able to do on top, you can build your swimming pool, build your underground car park, and then have enough rooms to do all that stuff. I can put a game house for you there, and every time you go to third floor, you just do it for game. But that's me going to digress, right? So I can be able to explain this. But it's telling you that no, I don't want it. I want the car park there.
This
I want
one.
to park it and let the world see on the third
See
floor.
my
that
car.
park.
See my Maserati.
Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
So in that kind of case, you just have to do what the client wants, right? Because let it be that he came back to you and after you are trying to execute it, he's telling you that, well, on the contrary, I think that this doesn't make sense. Although you have already advised, you've politely, boss, I think it would be better if we did this way, right? You've already advised and he rejected the advice, then you went with his own way. But this is what I will always say you do. So it's not like a capital-based project, it's about a technical-based project. So you, as an expert, build the best and keep it.
Okay.
Keep it because you will also have other people who are not him that don't want that Maserati on the third floor. So you expose those parts to the other stakeholders. So when he's saying that these general view, they have access to it, when they want to have a conflicting, they don't understand it, they don't like it, maybe it can be the CEO of your company, right? You give him what he wants. He's seeing it, he understands it, he's saying that that's how I like it. But it's not the best. So in terms of conflict of interest, you have educated, right? You have talked to him and you've said that, and then you give them the contrary view. So this is what I do. I do a flip, like a button. So you might want to, if you're saying I want to see 10 or 50 units in one pie chart, and each unit, what they are contributing. That's crazy, right?
That is really crazy.
But I will say, why not? I give you as a pie chart and I put view as a column. As a column chart. So I give you your option. So I'm like, you want it that way, I give it to you. They want it this way, I give it to them. So I'm actually serving you and them at the same time. So it gives them the opportunity to be able to make quick decisions. And also, what I will always say is this, right? What has really, really helped me to succeed is explaining the reality of visualization. If you're working in an organization, have time to train people. Most organizations take training seriously. Let them know that, educate them what chart actually works best for certain visualization. And you as the analyst, you should know that. So when you are telling them in your training that this is what it is, when it's a trend, most likely it's either going to be a column chart or a line chart. When you are trying to test relationship between two variables, you are looking at a scatter plot to be able to make sense of it. When you are looking for outliers, you are looking for box plots. So you are already going to be explaining that to them, and you're coming up with data governance trainings, coming up with visualization best practices, coming up with how to ask questions. In fact, some people don't even know that they should actually request for the assistance of the business intelligence or data analyst in their team. They have another doctors, they've been doing it every listen. It's time for weekly performance meeting. They are going to Excel, bringing it. Meanwhile, you could automate the entire flow and do it that they're just snipping. They are just going there or the dashboard to either snip it or to just go straight to the dashboard and have their weekly performance meeting, and that's a weekly dashboard they feed. So you let them understand what kind of requests to make as to the BI team to help assist. And once you are teaching them that, you discover there is a lot of workload that will come your way. Then it will now be your own problem to find how to solve that.
All right, okay, very, very great perspective you are bringing out there. But I was looking at it this way before you brought in the angle of keeping another design, because I was like, okay, what if you make you create a work for a client, and the person, probably this is not even like a company setting, and the person goes about, like, maybe goes on to like upload it somewhere, and that I'm looking at it like that can be a bad market for you if people get to know that, like, who is this person that, because sometimes when people do such mistake, they will not want to own up to it, like, and it will now be the curse of the designer, like the you now who did that dashboard, and that can be like a bad market for you, in the sense that, like, some like, why, how can an expert design something like this, but you actually just did something based on the demand of the clients, right? So, but so in my own head, I'm like, okay, maybe sometimes I'll probably just learn how to say no, but of course you can't say no to your CEO. So that's why I agree with your perspective. And we have to do what, I mean, even if it's a client, I mean, the person is the one paying you. You either have to turn down the job, or if you do it, you're going to have to do it the person's way. All right. So, but
Actually,
okay,
right. That's why in your own portfolio, your portfolio should show that you have more competency than what the client is
what
actually
the
looking
person did.
for. Because when
Okay.
they see that you've done that, they will know that probably that's what the client wants. And if you have like,
Yeah, requested.
that's what the client
Okay.
wants. So,
Oh wow! All right. That's wow. That's another important point you just quickly added there. Thank you so much for that. So you see why we always say that it's very important that as an analyst generally, whether it's BI, whether it's just general analyst or data science, you should have a portfolio that you are updating all the time. For somebody who can give you bad PR, ensure that you are having the best of your work in your what's it called, in your portfolio. That is your selling point. All right, thank you so much for that. Real quick, we move on to the next question. Time is running up on us. I'm running down on us rather. Mr. Caleb. All right, so um okay, when it comes to, well, let's get back to the aesthetic that we were saying the other time.
all right.
When it comes to choosing colors, you forgot to answer the question of the dark mode. So I think you
Oh,
would answer it now. So just keep that one side, and then so in choosing colors in BI dashboard, people would say that it's very important to follow the corporate brand, the corporate brand palette, or also do you follow this is the question, do you follow the corporate brand palette, or do you prioritize just your own, what's it called, your own idea, just do your thing, and so
okay.
which for you, which one works
So,
well? What's the standard, or what's the standard practice? Let's put it, not necessarily what works for you. What's the standard practice?
okay. The standard practice is actually branding. Branding is standard practice.
All right.
If you see today a KPMG dashboard that belongs to KPMG office, the color of the blue of their bar charts will be in line with the color of the blue on their logo, right? And they use other complementary colors to be able to tell the story. But there are situations where you have conflicting colors, because you can have a company whose color is color green, for example, green that is good for saying you are doing well, or a color red that means that you are doing terrible. How do you then juxtapose that kind
That's
of situation, right? And that's where you now come to understand having a team, right? I can use the red color for their, maybe the background, the line colors, and that. Then I'm bringing in maybe a darker color and then the red color to show that when something goes wrong. So they are seeing their same color, and then they have a red color that shows whenever something is going wrong, and darker colors, other shades. And most companies don't make a mistake of doing only one colors, right? Having just one singular
yeah.
color. So they have multiple colors. So that helps you. if you don't know the colors, right, that are that the companies are working with, you can work with the brand strategies, their data marketer, their graphic designer. They will actually suggest other colors that you could work with.
I think we lost you there. Okay, or is the issue from my end? Please, if you can hear me, let me see your reaction. Okay, I think he has joined us back. Mr. Caleb, are you still there? Okay, I think we lost him for some minutes. Please. Yes, he's trying to join back. But I want to believe that we have been learning so much this session. If you have learned a lot, please let me see you give it up for Mr. Caleb. Let me see you react. Let me see you drop what you have, how this session has probably helped you. Okay, he's back. I'm going to add him now.
The network just disrupted somewhere.
Yeah, we're in Nigeria. It's fine.
So, well, I was talking about you can work with the brand strategists or the graphic designers to be able to work with that. And also, now, like I've given you a tip already, colors has already come to help to play in that aspect. Another thing you can do is design mock-up look so that you have a general feel of what it looks like when you are playing with the colors, so that it's not when you are building the dashboard you are saying, this color did not complement this color. I think I could do this with this other color. You just have that to work with. Lastly, dark mode.
Yes, dark mode. Dark mode.
So I will say that it's now becoming a necessary evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you're struggling. You're struggling to go to really say, okay, so let me hear you're using the word necessary evil. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Because most organizations now are trying to be much more user experience savvy and whatnot, right? So dark mode has come to it's coming to stay in the long run.
Okay. I personally like dark mode. That's like I just have a bias.
So I don't see it as a bad choice, but I just see it as you can work with it. But what you can just do is give them the option to toggle between light mode or dark mode. So when you are designing your dashboard, have a dark mode effect in your mind, then give them the toggle button.
Is that not double work? Like, because dark mode can make some colors come out well, while light mode will not. So that would be.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that. But these are what you do. Like I was saying, that you have JSON format that you can work with.
Okay.
So,
yes.
So with your JSON format, it's really powerful, right? You have the opportunity to have your primary colors and your secondary colors. So once you have that in mind, you do create. Well, I'm talking about bookmark again, because bookmark is really, really, really powerful in Power BI. So you create a bookmark that when you toggle, it switches all your graphics your colors to that. So, and you already know your secondary color, you just make it secondary color, and then it picks up secondary colors for that. So yeah.
Wow, the way it's going, we're probably going to have a workshop where we are going to bring you back again. The way it is going, we're probably going to have a workshop, but I'm thinking about it, because I believe that there are so many things that people will learn, if we kind of have a more practical section. But this is really, really so informative. Thank you so much. Well, getting to like the last few questions, I think I just have like 2 more questions to ask you. Then I'm going to turn to the audience and we'll give them some 10-15 minutes, because we have already taken your time already, but it's just been, I wish I could take like 2 to 3 hours of your time. Really. So, okay. So for anyone that is, kind of, now this one, yeah, like we're there. And I want it to be as sincere as possible. But for anyone who is like trying to, go into data analytics or most specifically BI, without okay, I want you to like kind of from like your own understanding of the industry, especially Nigeria. I want us to kind of pin it to Nigeria. Yeah, I know many people want outside gig and all of that. I mean, of course, it does happen, but let us pin it to Nigeria. So, how lucrative do you think this line or this field is? What would you, and do you have like a range, like maybe for a junior role, what's the range that the person can be looking at? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for your, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you about, what's the range that's, salary range, that's what I'm talking about. For a junior a BI analyst, intermediate, then for like a senior officer, what's the range like? Is it lucrative? Is it something like I want to say, okay, I want to get my head down, I want to learn this, and I see a future for myself there?
Okay, so for those that are, say, undergraduate that are just going in as a junior person, I would say that the Nigerian factor varies a lot, so the numbers can change. But I will just put a range for each of them. So I would say within the range of 200 to 450,000 as entry level. If you have a very
Okay.
good organization, you should be starting at the upper band of that, right? And for the mid level, is tuning to the tune of over 500 to 600,000 down to a million, 1 point
Mm.
something million, thereabouts. At senior level, you are looking at over 1.5 million a month. I'm talking about net salary now. Over 1.5 million a month to the tune of 2 point something million a month. Then you are looking at executive or managerial level.
Is that for general companies or like the KPMGs, the Deloitte, the
So what I did was to look at the upper band and the lower band
okay,
and bring
okay,
them in. So you should average, it can go a threshold, maybe 200K, 300K
okay,
and above.
all right. But that's I think that's fair enough, really. If you ask me, so I think this is a lucrative line.
No, on the truth, well, I won't, not to shade the medical doctors, right? But in Nigeria, medical doctors don't, most of their starting salary right now,
Yeah.
except you are working for a well-established company, are not starting at this level. So right now, it's something that is needed by most industries, and now they are beginning to compensate and also try to get the very best hand to work with.
Okay, so I think Mr. Caleb has given us an idea, of how lucrative this field is, and it's something that I think we can all jump on. So, which is going to bring me to the last question I want to ask you. So now I've seen that okay, if I start this thing, I probably might blow and start, disturbing the entire city with my new, with my latest ride and all of that. So if I'm starting today, if like say I want to start, I want to like go into, you know, business intelligence or maybe data analytics or something. In your own view,
Yeah.
if I'm starting and I'm serious, like I'm actually serious about it, I'm not just making out. How many days or how many months or how many weeks do you think I can go from not knowing anything at all to being qualified for a junior role? And what is that one book or one course or one habit that you are going to recommend? So I think that's like two questions, right?
Okay, that's like 3 questions in one. Triple shot. Uh,
Okay.
so, well, speaking from my experience, I started with data science, so it took me about 8 months of consistent study. Right, I had to learn programming language and the likes. But if
Hmm.
all you are doing, this is very, very relative. It's all you are doing. If all what you are doing is studying for becoming the best analytics expert or data analyst or BI person, I will see for you to be able to get an entry level job, it should take you an average to 3 to 6 months.
Hmm.
3 to 6 months, 3 months being that you already know the roadmap. Probably you did a course closely related to it. like a computer science student, for example. His
Okay.
pace and speed to be able to pick up SQL is really fast, right? And it will only be data visualization and Excel and probably aesthetics design that will be his
Yeah.
problem. And that he can be able to pick up fast. So he take an average of 3 to 4 months or 5 months thereabout. But 6 months for somebody who has no idea, your first month is understanding the domain knowledge, the statistical, the numbers behind the maths, behind what you are doing, then translating it into uh, maybe writing scripts, queries,
Right.
DAX, or Excel, so that you can be able to visualize all
Yeah.
those that you have done. So, and then doing portfolio. So, as you are building the portfolio, so if you ask me, right, I always suggest to people that look for people, organizations that take boot camps and trainings, because that will serve as your fundamental knowledge. You have people from the industry explaining that to you. What happened to me was that I didn't really have someone, but by the time I did, I grew faster. I became I it was as if I took 3 times the speed I was taking 1 month to solve. So I'm stuck on one Python script I don't understand. I'm doing, then we don't even have AI, so we will go to Stack Overflow to go and start raising questions and
Questions.
start
Yes.
researching,
Yes. Yes. And it's still
or you go
functioning to me.
to Reddit. Do you understand?
Reddit.
To go and start. So our own time is totally different. Now is the time where people can ask AI, and also AI is also your you can make AI your companion teacher in sense that when you are feeling stuck, you are asking it to teach you like a child, and most especially when they teach you something in class that you don't understand. Before you go to your teacher to go and ask him, come and explain, do that research, work with AI. Let it explain that thing to you so that when you are understanding it and you are now stuck, even with the AI, he will come to now explain it further. And even when you have the basic understanding of it, you want to go deeper, your lecturer or your tutor will be able to go deeper to explain what has been done for you by AI. So I believe that with that you can be able to do a lot. And if you ask me, if I was to learn, if there was a book to to that I will recommend, I've forgotten the name of the author. It's going to be Data Storytelling by something Leah. I've forgotten her full name. That book will teach
Data
you
story.
everything that
Data
data storytelling.
storytelling.
Yes.
Mm.
That book will teach you everything about how to use your charts and your colors properly, right?
Mm. Mm.
And there are some blogs that I don't have their name. There's a blog that I've read, I think either from Data School or so. They will help you. But if I remember the name, I'll drop it on the comment section on this video so that it will be easier to be able to pick. So once you have that, you can drop it. I will drop it there. You'll be able to understand the act of creating a narrative with your visuals. So you're not just saying, I'm doing a chart, I'm doing a pie chart. Why are you doing the charts? Why are you doing that pie chart? You need to
Straight behind
understand.
it.
You'll be able to ask questions like why,
Mm.
how. And once you are
Mm.
able to probe further, you'll be able to pick up. And if any course I will always say is to go for the Microsoft Power BI training certification course. That's for in terms of certifying yourself. That's like the fundamental entry level, right? And once you do that, you should be ready for an entry level job.
Oh wow, wow! Thank you so much for that insight. So if you are here, you're hearing us. I mean, you are here with us. Mr. Caleb is giving you his word. He's letting us know that if you put your heart, your mind, and you lock in 6 months. I mean, I'm okay. No, he didn't even say 6 months. He said 3 to 4 months. That you
For
should
those
be
that have
able.
computer science or have
Okay,
related
for those
fields
that have
like
computer
that,
science, okay, okay. All right, but without the computer science, if you get a tutor or you probably enroll to a school and all of that, it will within 6 months. He's saying that you can actually qualify, or you should have gotten to a point where you should qualify for an entry room. And then he's saying that we should prioritize taking. a Power BI certification, that gives you an edge. I believe that should be paid. I don't know. I think it's paid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, but sometimes you have to give in something to get something. It's
Yes.
if you are serious, you have to, you trade off some, what's it called? What do you call it? Immediate remuneration for future, stuff like opportunity cost, things like that.
Yes.
So yeah, so and I think it's just it helps you to lock in since you have put money into. I believe that when you put money into something, it kind of probably make you a little bit more serious. So yeah, and yeah, so this is such a brilliant what's it called, discussion with Mr. Caleb. I'm really really grateful for not for the fact that okay, you have a question.
No, I wanted to say something to further explain it. So, what working with boot camps, like organizations that train people, what it helps you to do is actually prepare for stuff like Power BI certification in the long run. So, I would always suggest that go there first, learn, right, and secondly, go for the Power BI because if you just go and write the exam like that, it's wrong.
I might peel at it. I, I may end, the eyes might end up peeling. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So he's advising us not to don't jump, please. Learn to take the baby steps. Start somewhere first before you go and face the certification. I mean, nobody is like you want to go and write your exam without going through the how will I put it, going through the semester, and you want to go and write. I mean, like whatever you see, use your eye to see. It should take you like that. All right, thank you so much for really pointing that out. All right, so with in the next 15 minutes, I just want to give us 15 minutes. So I'm very sure, yes, we've had some people who have consistently stayed with us since we started this particular event. And I want you to ask your questions. So I will give you the room to ask at least maybe just one question each. I'll be waiting for that in the comment section, so that we will not keep our guests waiting. While I wait, rather, while I wait for the question, we do have um, um, a bootcamp training in your tech guide, and just like our name suggests, your tech guide, we want to guide many people into tech. Want to guide many, and that's even part of why we're having this. That's one of the reasons why we hosted this. Why we are hosting rather this particular talk, this event, to so that a learned colleague will come, give us his perspective. And I mean, he's just giving his own advice, that you should take a bootcamp training, and that's why he's never recommending anything, or anyone. But I'm just the one pushing this to you now. If you're on this live event, I put it to you that we are offering a training. It's not free. We actually did one that was free. Our first cohort training was free, and some of our graduates are getting roles currently. So, and we have industry experts that are going to take that's what's it called, the courses. But one of the courses that we are taking at this particular period is data analytics and data engineering. So we have data analytics separate from data engineering, and the link is in the comment section already. If you want to know more about that, you can follow that link to get more information. So that's it. I'm waiting for the questions. I believe you have questions. I believe you have questions for Mr. Killen. I've asked him so many questions, and I've not given him a dime for it. So let me keep my mouth shut now. Let me let you also disturb Mr. Caleb with your questions. So please, watch this question. You may not, if you are asking him the other time, he will not, he may not give you for free. Do you get? So take this opportunity now. Ask Mr. Caleb, because he's a big man who forget the fact that he's here with us, not minding the number of this is a he's an
No,
adult in
stop
the industry.
it.
It's a privilege for him to be here with us. We're really grateful that we reached out, and I mean, like from day one, he has been very responsive, to us. We are so grateful for that. So I'm waiting for our questions. I'm waiting for our questions. Let's be fast. Let's make it fast. Tofunwa, what's her name now? I've been saying David Ojo. Fire Kemi, please ask your question, except you don't have any question, and we can release our guest. I'll give us 3 more minutes to look through the comment section. If I don't see any question, then I'll have to bring it to a close. And I once again, I love the fact that our guest came in even before I joined the session. Can you imagine? Like such a such a man, just such a man. He's such a man. He's such a great man. He came in before I joined, and he has been there here with us since then. All right, I have my first question, and it's from Mr. David Ojo. He said, "What are your thoughts? Certification versus skills?" I'm not sure what you. Okay, okay. I think what he's probably saying that is he like some people just get the certification just so that they can, or then and different from building actual skills like learning it, like knowing it. I believe that's probably what he's saying. So certification versus skills, what are your thoughts about it?
So I would say this skill sets. It's just like talent versus smart and hard work, right? Smart hard work will beat talent most of the time. But what will take you really high is when you are talented and you work smart and hard, you will go really high. So I see certification as ability for you to be able to break certain barrier in your field. For example, entry level, the barrier for entry level. If you are very skillful, somebody will recommend you naturally and you get a job. But how do you move away from just being an associate to a manager level, to a senior manager level, to a head level? Certification is where now really matters. And building that certification, it always comes with building skills. You shouldn't just go and get certification because you want to grow to the next skill. You need to build capacity, right? You discover you have gotten to that threshold, add the certification as to timestamp that this skill set that you are looking for, I know it and I'm certified enough to be able to do it. So that's the approach. We shouldn't look at the Nigerian factor of certification. Do it because you understand it. That's why I said go for a bootcamp first to gather the skill. You might even pass the certificate that say your eye might prepare you, but when you get to the job, you'll be look more confused and will have a lot of bad reputation in that industry that you are going into. So you don't want to make that mistake of having that bad reputation over time.
So basically, you're saying it is important to build the skill or capacity before going for certification. And in doing the certification, it also even helps you to build, to master your skills. Right?
Yes.
All right. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that answer. Mr. David, I hope that has answered your question. I'll move on to the next question by Omolade. She said, what advice can you give to aspiring data analysts who are worried about the job market saturation? I think we're saying something about that when we asked the question around AI and all of that. But this one is more of probably more people, everybody wants to jump into tech. And I think literally people just want to do data analysis. So how will you advise someone who is worried?
So I will say that let's take a step back. That's what I would say. Take a step back and look at the number of industries that are coming up, number of tech companies that are starting over time, number of companies that are actually implementing digital transformation into their businesses. You discover that at the long run, they always need someone that understands the numbers to be able to help. So in as much as we are saying this, a lot of people trying to venture into data analytics, because it looks like the easiest. And I'm not lying to you, it's actually one of the most difficult parts because you are managing both the business and you are managing the numbers. You are interfacing with the business and the numbers. If you ask me a lot, right, the data engineers have it easier there because I work with a lot of data engineers over in my time. They are just working with the database, the architecture, and the whatnot, the programming language. Once they know the technical skills, they are not interfacing with the business. And once anything goes wrong, right, they don't go to the data engineer and ask them what's happening.
They come to
that's what is flashing. What's going on? Your numbers are not correct. What's going on?
But I think you now have visuals. I think you have to, but sometimes I think you have to now go, I mean, like double check with the data engineers, right? But
Yes, you
you'll
go,
be the
but you are
first,
not the first layer.
first yes, I get. So that means you'll be the first recipient of the frustration, or otherwise, like,
And if your team is very, 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 very collaborative, you don't want to throw everybody under the bus. You say
hmm,
you research, you will look into it. It's not you. You know it's not you.
yeah, yeah, yes, I
So
get.
you take it. So at the long run, it is you that is the face of data, right?
Oh, I
So
understand that.
whatever you see, but I would say that in terms of the skill translating are all overly saturated, yes. But how many good hands do we really have?
Hmm, hmm,
That's the truth.
hmm, hmm.
And once it comes to competency and hiring, we discover that a lot of people have been privileged to attend multiple interviews,
Interviews.
interviewed other people, and I discovered that out of 10 people I'm interviewing, maybe one
It's
will
really
get
fair.
an average score. So you are
Hmm,
saying that it's saturated, but it's not that saturated. It's just a
hmm.
buzz flying around.
Okay, wow, wow. So we just have many people just claiming to really know without necessarily knowing.
Yeah.
And you might get yourself into that idea to think, well, since many people are learning, then maybe there will not be opportunity for you, rather than building your own competence and skills to really, be able to put yourself out there and get the job, right? That's what you're saying. Okay. All right. So don't let the number of people. So I think I get Mr. Caleb is telling us that you shouldn't get, so worried about the number of people that are claiming in code to be learning data analytics. You just learn it and learn it so well. You will get the role if you are good, if you are good at what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
and that's a very important, distinction to make. Thank you so much for that. I think we do not have any more question, and I want to also keep to time. We are think more like 10 minutes behind. Yeah, ahead rather of the scheduled time, but where we started like 10 minutes late also. So this is just like the perfect 1 hour 30 minutes. That so Mr. Caleb Jones, I think there's just something about him with time. Well, he's a data analyst, BI expert. So I think he works with numbers so much that his head as he is like he's calculating just automatically. Automatically. That just shows you how good this man is. Please let's give it up, for Mr. Caleb one last time. One last time. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for honoring this invite. Thank you for being with us and for sharing, impacting, with us today your knowledge. I've learned so much. I've learned so much from this session. I really do not want this to, if you ask me, so, but we have to let you go. We have to let you go now. So until next time, we are going to, bring Mr. Caleb up again. Hopefully, maybe that will be a workshop, like I said earlier. Hopefully, it may not be, may not be next week, may not be next month, but we are really, I'm speaking on behalf of your tech guide. We are really hoping that we'll bring you up again with more audience and to impact this your knowledge, too. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been a privilege. It's been such a great honor to have you. Thank you for your time with us. We really appreciate you, sir. God
Thank you
bless
for
you.
having me. Thank you, the management team, for your tech guide. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
All right. Thank you so much. Do well to have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And so, on behalf of your tech guide, I appreciate all of you that joined us, that joined from the start, and you are ending with us. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate your time. We do appreciate the your commitment to us, and we want to see you. For many of you who are here and you're looking at how do I start, how do I navigate, that is why we are here. You can join our community on WhatsApp. I will have that link posted shortly. You can join our community on WhatsApp. Like our name implies, your tech guide. We are here to guide. We are here to help you transition into tech the best way possible. And we have industry experts amongst us who are going to, help you a lot, who are going to really help you, And do well to follow us on our social media platform to stay up to date with what we are bringing. I mean, we are reeling out. So thank you so much. So like I said, I wish you a great evening and a good week ahead of us. Let us do well to have a great night. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, sir.